For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
NewsSpin calling, 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 calling. NewsSpin calling, 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 calling. NewsSpin calling, 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 calling. Across the land, all across the world, echoes of voices, we join hand in hand. Harmony rise in the afternoon sun. Come along, NewsSpin has begun. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. Truth from St. Lucia to sandy shores, from cities and hills to the Caribbean breeze. We sing together, hearts at ease, education to open every mind. Learn about your country, leave no one behind. When NewsSpin is on your radio, come along hands in hands, voices in unity, singing loud. NewsSpin, news the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. St. Lucian's heart to the world's every land. Knowledge unites us hand in hand. Yeah, Tim on NewsSpin call, bridging gaps between us all. Voices lift on high, under one sky we unify. Tim on NewsSpin call, bridging gaps between us all. Voices lift on high, under one sky we unify. NewsSpin is on education for all, from city streets to mountains tall. Learn your history, share your dreams, together we light the world with our flame. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. Better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. Yeah, NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world.
To the Flabbos, Father, forgive them, for you know not what you do. Also coming up on the broadcast, handover of the St. Jude Hospital coming up over the weekend, and also on this, the most monitored talk show in the world. Unfortunately, the island has recorded another homicide. Welcome to this, the most monitored talk show in the world. We go up until, what, maybe 2:30, maybe 6 o'clock this evening. You never know. And for sure, we'll be taking your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. And we are on TuneIn, Radio Garden, Power 97.9 FM. We are also on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the channel grow. Told you we might end at about 6 o'clock, as if I own the People's Radio Station. I think we'll end at about 2:30 this afternoon. Amanda is here, and she will be going through some of the comments in the chat rooms on Facebook as well as YouTube, and she'll be sharing the content with us. When you elect a government into office, you're basically giving them, to a certain extent, responsibility for your well-being. Whether it is providing you with jobs, quality health care, opportunities to hone your skills, an environment for your children to thrive, to go to school, to learn. And also, you give them the responsibility, again, to a certain extent, for your safety. And I'm using the word to a certain extent, primarily because you also have a responsibility to take care of yourself. You can't just rely wholly and solely on any government. So it's a symbiotic relationship that you have. And where crime is concerned, let us be very, very realistic. The political directorate has adopted a hands-off approach. It has adopted a kind of attitude. It has given us the impression that it really does not care who lives and who dies. Strong statement. How did I reach that conclusion? It has been demonstrated time after time that as far as this government is concerned, and in particular the Prime Minister, when it comes to crime, he takes absolutely no responsibility for the safety of the people of this country. And he does, indirectly from time to time, he would give the impression that he cares about our welfare, our safety, by providing the police with more motorcycles, more vehicles, more police officers. But to really spend some time to focus on what the people of this country have been going through as far as their safety, the Prime Minister has not shown that he has the knack, he has the willingness to focus solely on this aspect of the leadership that is required from him. Because he's also the National Security Minister. He's also the Justice Minister. And amidst all what we have gone through as a nation, when it comes to the crime scourge, the Prime Minister has never ever addressed the nation on crime. 4 years, 4 months in office. Hundreds of homicides recorded under your watch. And you have never ever addressed the nation on crime, on that subject, critical subject. And who knows, he could have and should have addressed the nation on the water crisis, on health care, but more so, something that is so glaringly a problem in our society, to the extent it's no longer seasonal. Instead of a few homicides occurring mainly in December due to armed robberies and things of that nature, but it is now year-round, January to December. Homicide after homicide. And this has not inspired our Prime Minister to convene an address to the nation, to address the St. Lucian public on this. And so the island has recorded another homicide. According to the St. Lucia Daily Post, it's a mother of 2. But first, let's play you some information, a statement by an official of the St. Lucia Fire Service, making reference to that shooting incident which occurred last evening just after 8 o'clock.
On Wednesday, November 12, 2025, the St. Lucia Fire Service responded at approximately 8:17 p.m. to a trauma incident and alleged gunshot wounding at Bexon. On arrival at the scene, an adult female was found in the driver's seat of a vehicle. On assessment, she presented negative vitals with multiple penetrating wounds about the body. Life-saving interventions were performed and she was taken to a medical facility for advanced medical care.
Report coming from the St. Lucia Fire Service. So no exaggeration, is homicide after homicide involving the use of illegal firearms and ammunition. And in most instances, the perpetrators are never brought to justice. You must never forget that it was this administration which took on that bold, ill-advised decision to basically make defunct the K9 unit of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. I mean, when most other territories are beefing up their K9 units, Antigua, Trinidad, Jamaica, because this K9 unit was just defunct in St. Lucia, disbanded in St. Lucia, was quickly hired by the Jamaica government, in case you have any doubt, quickly hired by the Jamaica government. And so in its wisdom, instead of beefing up the K9 unit, our Prime Minister and National Security Minister decided to disband that unit. Realize how effective, tight our dogs have been? The dog that we neglected, still inconclusive as to what led to its death. We must never ever forget Tyson, never. But this, no doubt, has resulted in a lot more people having illegal firearms and ammunition at their disposal because of the disbandment of the K9 unit. So this mother, latest victim, a mother of 2 is dead following a brutal shooting in Bexon Wednesday evening that has left residents shaken and police searching for answers. And that's according to a piece written and appears on the St. Lucia Daily Post website. Continues, the victim has been identified as 35-year-old Finola McLaurin, a resident of the Mon Castries. According to reports, McLaurin had traveled to Mark Bexon to drop off a relative when she came under heavy gunfire from 2 unidentified assailants. Eyewitnesses say the attack occurred as McLaurin exited the community and was driving her white Suzuki Ciaz. The gunman reportedly opened fire, riddling the vehicle with bullets before fleeing the scene. Sources allege that investigators recovered over 50 spent shells from the area, indicating the level of violence unleashed during the incident. Emergency responders were called to the scene, but McLaurin succumbed to her injuries before she could receive medical attention. So while those politicians are under hustings, while they're on the campaign trail, particularly the outgoing MPs, don't expect them to focus on crime at all. Don't expect them to focus on this mother of two, Finola McLaurin. No one can directly blame any politician, any prime minister, and say, you caused this particular crime to occur. But there are instances when we have to identify the neglect which would have occurred over several years that resulted in somebody or some people losing their lives in such tragic circumstances. You disbanded an entire canine unit. You robbed the Royal St. Lucia Police Force of a particular arm, a particular unit in its crime-fighting effort. You rendered the Royal St. Lucia Police Force it's amazing. I mean, you rendered them ineffective. I mean, you took a key component of the tools that they have at their disposal to fight crime, to ensure that those illegal guns do not enter our shores. And there was this vacuum which existed for close to 2 years. Eventually you got a canine from the French authorities. What a serious dereliction of duty. Let's take your calls right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. We are discussing matters of concern to you and, of course, some of the issues that we have highlighted on this program. And let us see if we have any of your WhatsApp messages to go through. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, RIP to a great friend. And continues, she was killed at Mark last evening, shaking my head. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Person says, the person that introduced Ernest Elaine to St. Lucian politics, shame on you. And let's see if we have some more of your messages to share with you. A call for clarification and accountability. I'm seeking clarification on this matter, as something appears fundamentally inconsistent. If, as it currently stands, St. Lucia has no sitting government, given that Parliament has been officially dissolved, then to whom exactly are the contractors handing over this hospital? Who at this juncture possesses the legal or constitutional authority to preside over a handover ceremony or engage in ribbon-cutting exercises? From what I understand, the current administration has ceased to exist in an official capacity, and nomination day has not yet even taken place. Continues, therefore, the individuals presently representing the SLP are merely candidates, not elected officials, not ministers, and certainly not a government in office. So on what legal or moral grounds does the SLP claim the right to receive and open a public institution on behalf of the people of St. Lucia? Does this not raise serious constitutional and procedural questions? What grants them precedence over the United Workers' Party or any other political entity, given that both stand on equal footing during this interim period before elections? If this handover were truly necessary, would it not have been more appropriate to conduct it before the dissolution of Parliament, when there was still a recognized government to act on behalf of the people? I'm genuinely asking for the legal minds in our country to weigh in. Is this action lawful, or are we witnessing political theater under the guise of national service? St. Lucia deserves transparency, accountability, and respect for constitutional order. Questions demand answers. Well, as far as the Erskine-May parliamentary practice is concerned, what we have now is tantamount to a caretaker government. And they cannot obviously go to the island's parliament to borrow monies on behalf of the people of St. Lucia, but various initiatives, various projects that were already underway, this caretaker government can preside over them. So there isn't anything illegal for this caretaker government and for the likes of Mr. Philip J. Pierre and Mr. Moses Jean-Baptiste, etc., for them to participate in that particular ceremony on Sunday, because that's what they are, in effect, part of a caretaker government. 4522979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, we as citizens need to get our firearms licenses. And we have another message to go through. And the person says there via WhatsApp, Tim, good afternoon. Someone from your fraternity should try to conduct an interview with the contractor on the St. Jude Hospital project to find out the status of the project building hospital. It says there in the last interview with him, he stated that the building was close to completion and he was awaiting the equipment and furniture. Once this was put in place, then he would hand over to the government and his part would be complete. We have a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon to you, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, ma'am. I'm okay. How about you?
I'm not so bad. My name is Kisa Fulgence.
What's your name?
Kisa Fulgence.
Keisha.
Yeah, Kisa,
Okay.
yes.
Keisha
I am
Fulgence.
the wife of the UWP candidate for Denry North. And I want to speak briefly because I have so much to do. But I want to speak briefly and responsibly about an incident which occurred night before.
That would be on Tuesday evening.
Tuesday evening.
About what time?
That was about between 11 p.m. and 11:30 p.m.
Okay. And where?
Yes. That was in Poleon, Denry.
Okay, go ahead.
Outside of my husband's campaign office. Yes. So, Tim, I will say as well that I have never called your show before. This is my first time. I mean, I have tried getting the lines on numerous occasions, but it's been very difficult. But I was really, really, really determined today because this is a very important call. However, well, the other thing, since both the SLP candidate for Denry North and his supporter, Emran Matthew, decided to deny that the incident occurred, I felt, compelled to now come out and make a public statement on the matter. I would also like it to be known, Tim, that I am in no way calling for pity, because those who know me can tell you that I am a strong woman who is not easily intimidated. So I am not calling for pity. But I would like to start by saying, Tim, that the morning following the incident, I did file a police report. Okay? And following this report that I made the morning after, I got no call from the police asking me to return to the police station. Okay? No call was made to me after that asking me to return there. The police did call me yesterday evening to give me an update as far as my report was concerned. Right? And following, well, I mean, all of what I'm saying here, Tim, can easily be verified, right? Because the police would have the report, they would have the time and everything that I showed up, right? Now, on the evening in question, my husband and his supporters was setting up the campaign office for its official opening on Saturday, right? So he had a few meetings there and so, leading up to the incident. And for the entire day, they were there painting and getting things organized, right? Of course, since this is the very first campaign office in the community of Poleon, there would be lots of excitement. I mean, Poleon is a community that is rich in culture, it's vibrant, and, there was a lot of excitement associated with that. Now, Tim, I got to the location at approximately 11 p.m., right, to drop off some items for my husband and also to exchange vehicles with him. Now, he had parked in the vicinity of his mother's house, so that was where I was headed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
However, when I got to Olio, the road was impassable due to the fact that supporters of the opposing candidate from other communities, so supporters from outside of Olio, they had parked a car audio system along the road. Now, Tim, at that point, I had no choice but to stop where I could have reached. Tim, I had no intention whatsoever of staying because I was really tired. I had a long day. So it was just to get what I had to get done and leave, right? But when I asked them to move so I could pass, they said no. They said no. I did not argue with them, Tim. I didn't put up any resistance. Instead, I stopped the vehicle as far as I could have reached, and I went over to my husband and some of his supporters who were in fact unable to stop outside his office, outside his office, right? Since some of the opposing candidates' supporters chose to congregate on that side of the road. Okay? So they had no choice but to go on the other side of the road. So I went over to them. While standing across from those persons who had congregated there and were dancing and so on, it just dawned on me that, hey, this is a silly season. So I commenced taking footage because, one may have misconstrued what was happening there. One who did not see what actually happened may have misconstrued what was happening. And it may have appeared that I was the one, obstructing traffic when that was not the case. So I said, you know what, let me take a video, just in case it is needed. So I commenced taking pictures and, that, and also videos as well, right? To show that the video was blocking my path, right? It was then my attention was drawn to my vehicle where I saw movement. Now, Tim, again, this is the silly season. So I decided to move closer to see what was happening next to my vehicle, right? It was then I realized that Emran Matthew, right, continued walking alongside my vehicle. Tim, it's my vehicle, my property, so I'm wondering what's going on here. So I did the same. At that point, Tim, that is when he laid hands on me. Tim, I was shocked.
What exactly did he do?
Well, Tim, he stretched out his hand in an attempt to grab my phone, I suppose. Mm-hmm. That may have been the intention, but my phone was clenched in my hand. So when he reached out and he grabbed, he ended up grabbing my wrist area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, Tim, at that point, I was shocked. I stood frozen for a few seconds, right? I cannot tell you exactly how long because when things like that happen, time moves a lot slower. So at that point, someone called out to me and told me that I could now proceed to my initial destination since the obstruction was no more. So remember the obstruction, as I said, was the car audio system, right? So I proceeded to my initial destination at that point, right? And then I went back up the road to check on my husband. The distance is not very far. I would say maybe about 50, 80 feet. But the key thing is, Tim, I needed to get to the other vehicle. It was important. So one may say, but why didn't you just leave and drive off? But I had to get to the other vehicle. because as I initially indicated, I had some stuff to drop off for him, and I had to exchange vehicles with him, right? Tim, when civility is lost in a society, what is left? My husband does not see the SLP candidate as an enemy, you know. He's only a political opponent. And on many occasions, my husband has asked his supporters to not confront Labour Party supporters. Right? The civil thing to do, right, in my opinion, because I can only express my opinion here, I'm not speaking on facts at this point in time, but the civil thing for the Labour Party candidate to have done would be to at least ask how I am doing. Because he was not there. He was not present when the incident transpired. The Labour Party had no activity in that area when the incident transpired. There was no Labour Party activity. Instead, Tim, the Labour Party candidate for Denry North decided to go on a rant on using his official Facebook page, where he vehemently indicated that the incident never occurred. Even the tone used in his comments is what one would expect of a renegade. Tim, there have been incidents where lives have been lost in the constituency. Up to last week, there was a shooting where it was alleged that a minor was shot. A mother and son from the constituency was shot in the city not too long ago. There were killings in Grand Ravine not too long ago as well. Following these incidents, the Labour Party candidate for Denry North never felt compelled to make any public statements denouncing acts of violence. And you know, Tim, that takes me back to a statement he made on a political platform where he said, "Take them on." It takes me to that. And I'm seeing that, you know, instead of coming out and speaking out on those matters which affects our communities, he will take to Facebook simply to stand with his comrade. What about the regular Joe, Tim? What about the regular Joe? If the Labour Party candidate can take to social media without first confirming the details of the incident, because as I said, he was not present at the time. What really was his motive, Tim? What really was his motive? Did he do so out of fear of political backlash? Tim, in addition to everything that I have said, since Emran Matthew actually called my husband the following day in a very apologetic tone, right? A very apologetic tone, right? Even saying to my husband that he can call me. He can call me, but, you know, talk to me first, right? He can call me. I'm confirming that I have received no call to date, right? My husband said to me, you know what, just leave that alone because, you know, it seems that, you know, he's apologetic. Because he also said that he didn't mean any harm. Now, if you did not do something that could be interpreted as harm, why would you feel the need to say that you did not mean any harm? It doesn't make sense, Tim.
But I'm also hearing as well that the firearm was involved. Is that the case?
Well, Tim, after I went to park my vehicle, the vehicle that I went up to Poleon with, as I said, I went back to the location where it all transpired. At least three people came to me and said that they saw Emran reaching under his shirt. And that is what I can say on that matter. I will not say that, oh, I saw something that, I cannot say that I did in fact see. Or if there was something that I am not sure of, I would prefer to not say that I saw it. But I can only tell you that when I went back to the location where this whole thing transpired, at least three people came to me and said that they saw him reaching under his shirt.
Are you willing to accept an apology from him?
Tim, I saw a lot happening on social media. I chose, because my husband spoke to me, I chose to say nothing. Actually, this call, before I made it, I did ask him what he thought. He did express disappointment, especially after receiving a call from Emran, right? The call, I believe, was between 8 and 9 minutes. He expressed disappointment because he said, the conversation was quite cordial, considering the fact that his wife, right, was assaulted in that manner, right? Considering all of that, my husband still maintained, that we need to keep the peace. We're a small community. We are too small, Tim, to allow this to decay our society. So he was expecting that Emran would have most likely reached out to me, but he has not done so. Instead, as I said, I saw the St. Lucia Labour Party candidate rant on social media, speaking on something that he did not verify himself. He was not even present for, but he took to social media. I also saw that Emran himself posted something on Facebook, which sparked conversation, right? And it appears that this thing is being used as some kind of political, toy. But this is a very serious matter. And at the time of the incident, Tim, I expressed to a few persons, Labour Party supporters from Poleon, I did say to them, Emran could have simply apologized after. But this now has gone further than I expected. I did say that. I said he could have simply apologized. And it's just really sad. It is really, really sad, especially considering that I had said I would not have made a public statement, But, with everything that has happened since, I felt compelled to do so, and I also spoke to my husband about it, and he gave me the okay to go ahead and do so, right? And now, Tim, it has now called into question the validity of information emanating out of the Labour Party Denry North's campaign going forward. Because if something so simple, which can be verified through a number of means, right, is being said to have never happened, then, what else? Tim, I am appealing to every St. Lucian. There is life after politics. Let us not allow politics to divide us any further. And as my husband has said, we are too small for this, Tim.
Do you have any, considering all of this happened over the last few hours, do you then have any regrets? Your husband participating in elective politics?
Tim, prior to my husband entering the political arena, we had a discussion about it. He was overseas at the time when persons sought him out to contest the election. We had many discussions about it because, of course, you know that these things would affect your personal life. It would affect everything going forward. I mean, my husband at the time held a very senior position with the company where he was employed in the capacity of a regional general manager and also interim general manager for the country where he was based, which is Guyana. And at that time, that in itself is a big sacrifice. One would ask, why would you leave this great job to contest, general election? But my husband said to me, if the people think that they require better representation, and they think that they see it in me, because I can tell you, Tim, he's one who has been assisting persons in the community silently, never with any fanfare or never with any, grand charge. He would assist persons. And he said to me, you know what, I think I can assist persons on an even bigger scale. And we had the conversations, and he spoke with his mom, and he decided, along with, our support, that he would go into elective politics. I do not have any regrets, Tim. I knew that, in many instances, persons have been maligned. My husband himself has been the subject of conversation merely because he chose to invest in farming, right? Because we are big farmers. And that, there have been many expressions about it by the Labour Party, some of the Labour Party operatives, that he's giving pigs and whatever. But Tim, my husband, invested, even while holding a full-time job, he invested in farming because he has a genuine love for farming. He has a genuine love for farming. I was never a farmer before. My father, who raised me, is not a farmer. My father is a chartered accountant. So you can understand the household I came from. And Tim, I am now actively involved in our pig pen. Simply because my husband showed me that farming is something essential to our existence. So I myself, while he was overseas, I was the one running the business. I would get my hands dirty, Tim, and I would, do the necessaries, cut my pig's teeth and everything, and actually get involved in the process, right? And I'm telling you, I come from a background which is not a farming background. So I believe that if my husband can be impactful on his own, by doing small things in the community which can touch people's lives, then of course, him being the MP for the constituency, everybody would benefit. So I should not be selfish and say, no, I don't think it is right. I believe that if he was able to do that on his own, in his personal capacity, that the community can benefit greatly from his knowledge, his expertise, and his commitment to improving the community at large. And so I have no regrets. If I could go back, I would tell him to do it again.
Okay, ma'am.
And at the end of the
You're
day,
saying?
Tim, I believe that St. Lucian and the people of Denry North will make the right decision on December 1st and will elect Bradley Marcel Fulgence as their representative. After 15 years of stagnation, they will elect him as their representative. Tim, thank you so much for allowing me to express myself on your program. And good afternoon to you and to your listeners.
Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. You just heard there from Mrs. Keisha Fulgence speaking about an incident which allegedly occurred on Tuesday evening outside the campaign office of a husband who is contesting the Dennery North seat, Bradley Fulgence. And Mr. Sean Edward won that seat in the last general election by 281. Now, since this incident occurred, there's been in circulation, and my producers managed to get this, a clip featuring the voice and interaction between Mr. Emran Matthew and also Mr. Bradley Filgens. And we also feature a clip of the incumbent, Mr. Sean Edward.
Or this morning, a very dishonorable woman in the politics of Denrinoff went on social media and she accused one of our persons of raising. My brothers and sisters, that never happened.
Don't put your phone on the air. Don't, I will snap.
As I told you, if you can do that,
I'll see what I can do from my
end. If I have a conversation with your wife, I can reach out to her. If you can tell I reached out, because I never meant harm.
My brothers and sisters, that never happened.
Don't put your phone on the air. Don't, I will snap.
As I told you, if you can do that,
I'll see what I can do from my
end. If I have a conversation with your wife, I can reach out to her. If you can tell I reached out, because I never meant harm.
My brothers and sisters, that never happened.
So again, we're seeing signs that things are getting definitely out of hand and out of control. Where there's a level, it appears a level of bullying and intimidation tactics being employed. And there's need definitely for cool heads to prevail. Because this problem can only exacerbate as we get closer and closer to December the 1st. And if politicians are well-meaning, if it's all about serving the country and it's not about you and your ego, all the candidates who are contesting the elections, along with the hierarchy of the two main political parties in this country, will come to the conclusion that as part of this election process, they must ensure that they, along with their supporters, act in a responsible, law-abiding, and cordial manner. Because if it continues, probably will not have a St. Lucia to govern. And if it's all about the people, why should you be antagonizing each other? Why should you be destroying the paraphernalia of the respective candidates? This is unacceptable and it ought not to be tolerated. In the meantime, there's a deafening silence on people you expect would come out, condemned acts of indiscipline, condemned those acts of bullying and intimidation that is taking place in the build-up to the island's next general election. We will hear now a clip featuring the former Speaker of the House, the current United Workers' Party candidate for Grosile, and Rick Wayne.
But that kind of reticence on the part of Labour Party supporters. Fight back! Fight fire with fire! You see me right now? I taking them on head on now. No more Mr. Nice Guy. You want to interfere with me? And I keep telling you, I don't care when I'm fighting if my opponent is a dwarf or a giant. I'm fighting with all the ammunition at my disposal. All. I ain't saying, well, because it's a dwarf, let me use a catapult, and because it's a giant, I'm going to use a bazooka. Dwarf to giant, getting bazooka. Because you do not deal with, you ever have Baygon you spraying Baygon to knock out mosquitoes? No, get rid of them completely. Move the mosquitoes, the irritants.
Tim, I just want to bring something to your attention which has me very, very disturbed, because it all speaks to the division and hate that is being perpetrated in this country. This morning, I got numerous calls from my supporters. All my posters and flags between the shop, Marisil and Bois d'Orange, torn down or destroyed. And this is something that is coming from the supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party, and in particular Kenson Kazimi. And this is not the first time that this has happened. not the first time. And I just want to say to him that these acts are very unacceptable. We are supposed to be living in a democratic country, and tearing down campaign material is very disrespectful and is also a direct attack on our free expression in this country. We should not tolerate this politically. Elections should be about ideas, vision, the future of the people of this country.
I am beginning to believe the W in UWP, Tim, stands for wimp. I mean, people are having, the Labour Party is having aggressive meetings. I don't have to agree with them or not. You know, they're having aggressive meetings, which is what they're supposed to do if they want to win. Their followers, and I've said before, there is a danger in it, but nevertheless, it is being done. I spoke some time back that if Kenny Anthony spoke carelessly and somebody acted, Kenny would not necessarily have to go and tell them to act, but they could take it on their own. In the same way, you can get your followers so agitated, so excited and whatnot, they take it on their own and go and pull down flags, you know. It doesn't mean a candidate is not paying them to do it. But we must not always believe a candidate is paying them to do it. It could. Why aren't the UWPs pulling down flags? Or are they not pulling down flags? Or is it that the Labour Party doesn't give a damn if they pull down flags? Because if the Labour Party recognizes pulling down flags and will have no effect except psychologically. Am I right on that?
Well, I mean, you're guessing that...
I am guessing.
You're guessing.
Those are not guesses.
No. You are guessing that
political
that the candidates are not asking. You are guessing that the candidates are not asking supporters to pull on the flags.
I bow to that. So, since there are no complaints about the UWP pulling down flags, it means UWPs are not pulling down flags. How nice. Okay. And prayer meetings. Tim, we don't like the word war. But in some cases, war is a metaphor, a euphemism. And when you go into a fight, boxing match, a wrestling match, a cricket match, you have to adopt the attitude of a fighter determined to win at all costs. I said to you before, what the referee does not see did not happen. I'm so pissed off. And not for the politics of it, but for the wimpiness of it. That the United Workers' Party seems to expect the Labour Party to join them in prayer meetings and leaving it to God and all of that kind of hogwash. Elections is a rough, hard job. People who are serious about the elections don't have time to sleep. People who are serious about elections will do everything they can to win, including breaking the rules. That is what the reality is. So if you're in some dream, expecting one side to be praying and doing nice things, you lose.
So that from Rick Green, before him, Marcella Johnson and former Speaker of the House, Claudius Francis. Rick said, must be determined to win at all costs. I do not subscribe to that. There must be rules of engagement. You must make a determination that you have your own standards. There's a word called decorum in terms of your behavior. Because I totally object to somebody who's about to open the campaign office, and outside that office, you have a mob. Let's just imagine that was the case, a mob. People who are there not to support you, but to intimidate you in an atmosphere that is heavily charged. We as a small country, grappling with so many challenges, all the crimes that we're having in this country, we cannot afford to have a situation where there is chaos, there is mayhem, there is bedlam, in the run-up to a general election. And for me, that whole attitude is very suspect. It is fishy. What about winning a seat that would cause you to lose all your scruples and your self-control? And I've been saying this for years, you know. It is all about the reward. And the reward is not being in a position of power to positively affect the lives of the people of St. Lucia. It is about them being in a position of power that would benefit them as individuals, as politicians, and key members of political parties and campaigns. That is what it boils down to. And so they will do anything to maintain power and to gain power. We have to guard against this. Any major outbreak of violence in this country cannot be adequately responded to by already beleaguered, understaffed, stretched out Royal St. Lucia Police Force. What is sad? The people have to speak out. Up to this day, we have not heard from the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the caretaker Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre, and the other members of the St. Lucia Labour Party condemning those acts. Condemn it outrightly. It's at the last moment, but have a code of conduct. Your supporters, I'm talking about both sides, but it appears, from what we're hearing, the more aggressive side is the red side, because the mood is red. And they must ensure that law and order is maintained in this country. Things are getting very much out of hand. It is because some people want to preside over the limited resources that we have. And if it takes killing people, injuring people, assaulting people, then so be it. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Shop directly from the U.S. with Smack Freight International. Vehicles, heavy equipment, tools, parts, building materials, commercial equipment, office equipment, furniture, personal goods, home goods, shoes, clothing, restaurant equipment and supplies, uniforms, and so much more. Smack Freight International also offers a broad selection of top quality products with real-time availability and fast delivery. It is simple. Whatever you buy it for less at Smack Freight. Smack Freight is now serving the Caribbean. WhatsApp them today or even right now at 1737-409-4048. That WhatsApp number again, 1737-409-4048, or visit their website at smackfreight.com. SMAKFREIGHT.com. Back in just a bit.
What if the next drop is the last? St. Lucia is facing longer, more intense dry spells, and our water sources are drying up. And when the rains come, they come harder and faster, damaging our homes and disrupting our water supply. But we can change the outcome. By conserving water and protecting our sources, every small action adds up. WASCO, working in collaboration with the Water Resource Management Agency, is committed to securing our water future. But we need your help. Together, we can protect our water, our health, and our future. One small step can make a big impact. Let's secure our water and secure our future. For more information, visit wascostlucia.com.
KFC, yo, we back with the vibe. Strips and dip combo, flavor that rise. Free crispy strips, fries on the side. 16-ounce drink, sauce for the ride. Order for 25, deal so nice. Go down and crunchy, can't think twice. Barbecue, honey, mustard ranch if you wish. Dip it, dunk it, finger licking bliss.
KFC when the flavor. Set the mood strips and dip his back finger licking good.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Yeah, man. Great job, guys. I love it.
Yeah, man. You see how the place starting to look nice?
Not just nice. This STEP program creates a safer and healthier community for all of us who live in. CIP is doing so many good things in the communities and providing jobs for us. It's a win-win for everyone. I am the I in CIP.
I am the I in CIP. It's about our citizenship by investment program.
Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with New Select. No more paper, no more mess. Easy billing, no stress. Use my account to pay online. Pay your bill at any time. Get the stress off your mind. No more standing in line.
Visit LuCelect.com today and sign up to my account to pay your bill. Request a temporary or new connection or switch an account to your tenant's name. Do it all online.
Personal, paperless. Use the virtual service desk. Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with LuCelect.
Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE-certified MRI technology and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique du Corps, because time is vital in health.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home, we've got the mortgage. Starting your first business, count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexar, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
It's time to cast your vote for savings at Courts. This Friday, November 14th, it's our Black Friday ballot where you decide your discount. Tip for your discount on top of our already discounted prices or for a chance to win your purchase free. Don't miss the excitement. Don't miss the deals. It's all happening this Friday, November 14th at Courts. Courts, bringing value home this Black Friday.
It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. Cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrating. Come let your rhythm
Every day, St. Lucian women give everything to their families, communities, and dreams. Yet breast cancer still claims too many lives. Now, St. Lucia is making history. For the first time, state-of-the-art 3D mammography is available right here at home. Donated by the World Bank through the Health Sector Support Program, these advanced machines are a major step forward in universal health coverage, and they're free. Women 40 and older or younger, if at risk, can access this life-saving service. Visit your local wellness center for a referral. Early detection saves lives. Free mammograms, universal coverage. Your wellness center is your first step.
Browell, located on High Street in Castries, next to the courthouse and electoral office, and opposite the Castries Comprehensive School, is having a massive clearance sale. Prices have been slashed by so much, it's ridiculous. We're talking 30 to 60% off electrical and plumbing items until stocks last. Whether it's a do-it-yourself fixer-upper or a full household project, come in and save big with Browell. There's never been a better time to come down to Browell for savings on electrical, plumbing, and other hardware items. See you there. Browell, located on High Street, Castries, next to the courthouse and electoral office, and opposite the Castries Comprehensive Secondary School. Sale on until stocks last. Sale starts Tuesday, November 25th.
The following is a paid political advertisement.
We can't get a better government than SLP. And we are proud to be under SLP.
The Youth Economy Agency.
You can actually see what Sean is doing.
This government, they're doing very good.
Alva Kapan Shai, Alva, nous pas à complaindre. Alva a délivré. Et nous pas à complaindre. Qui a délivré en tout partout, tout partout.
Mr. King is doing good.
I think you might be on the club.
He's a very humble person.
A lot of good things they're doing.
He's not there for only the East Castries, he's there for everybody, the entire St. Lucia.
All I know, the way I seen it, King is the right person we have in place.
Everybody that come to him, he never refused it.
From the time he entered in 2011, we cannot complain, and this is why I'm telling everyone, Sean again, Sean again, Sean again.
But Mr. Shashley, I don't want that man to get back in power.
I wish they would put Guy and the rest is all crew. Put them model for me, please.
Some guys are there, all the team, Shashley, he seem all is the same thing. None never tell him what he do is not right. We're going forward, not backward. I don't want to see them on my TV, on my phone. No, I don't want to Shashley.
I like to see how they working.
I'm trying to speak to who I know that's scramble to see if I can change things. To see if I can do it, because Emma is doing very well in Super.
Mr. King to the fullest. Double is ready and we're ready.
I feel actually great. Great about you.
Everything is working proper in the community.
I want you all of St. Lucia to vote with Papa. We vote Philippe J. Pierre.
I don't have nothing to complain about. Nothing to complain about.
I am one of the beneficiaries of that. I'm the only university graduate of my family, my household. So I'm very pleased when the Prime Minister said one university graduate from each household. So I'm one of those.
The laptop.
Look up, Cliff.
The choice is clear.
For myself, the semi-pro football itself is very good for St. Lucia.
There are young people who want to go and play football, but now that you're getting something for it. So it's promoting you, like it's making you feel wonderful and things. So to know you're playing for a cause, you're getting a little money and things. So
we are intelligent people.
You have your children that were just sitting by the roadside with lots of ideas. And now these ideas can be changed into businesses.
Everything going good in St. Lucia.
Gouvernement, mon tapé gouvernement a fait un bon travail.
Just me doing very well.
The choice is very clear. No change is required. We are staying Labour.
This was a paid political advertisement. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Amanda, good afternoon to you. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, News Spinners. Tim, a few comments responding to Mrs. Fulgen's contribution. Someone says here, show some empathy. Her story is one of importance, and sadly, many of the women in St. Lucia experience such violence but do not have a voice to speak up. Someone says here, where are all those who claim to protect women's rights? Have they said anything? Commentary reads, this thing should never happen regardless of parties. Violence is heartless, despicable, unpatriotic, distasteful to say the least. Commentary says, these things that turn me off with men. Your wife could have been hurt, but you're telling your wife to leave it there. If he had dislocated your arm or shot your husband, would he have said the same? I am therefore disappointed with both of you. Commentary reads, isn't it too late for apologies though? Because I heard Emran this morning saying to Jaim that his lawyers are involved. Commentary says, breaking news, a baby was discovered buried behind the house in Balata. Police are there right now. A few comments from earlier in the chat room. Someone says, the law of truth, is all you sow, you reap. Some people believe that doesn't apply to them, but in due time. Commentary says, it's just so sad how we have people who are holding the opposition accountable for matters affecting St. Lucia and St. Lucians than they are holding the elected government. In other words, I think they're saying that the elected government cannot govern. And NewsSpinner says, please, that's not what the police need. They need training, mostly bikes, and where is the bulletproof vests he bought? Someone says there, the criminal lawyer Richard Frederick hasn't addressed crime one time. He's there overtaking every other ministry but this one. Commentary reads, look at Jamaica Police's department. The Jamaica Defense Force is the real deal. They have everything to fight crime today. Someone says their power corrupts political corruption. When public speakers or leaders are poor, they appear honorable and dedicated to the public good, earning them praise. However, once they gain power and enrich themselves using public money, fattened on the public funds, their moral character erodes. They transform from public servants into self-serving tyrants who resent justice, conspire against the citizens they are supposed to represent, and ultimately become a threat to the democratic system that empowered them. It's a powerful warning about the need for vigilance against political corruption. A NewsSpinner says, but team, have you not heard of the success of the GNF units, all the drugs and weapons they're recovering from the ports? Another commentary reads, we know what didn't happen, but never know what happened, but the mood is red. Someone says there, and another thing, the criminals have better guns than the police, high-powered guns. In Jamaica, the police have guns and more guns. Nonsense in St. Lucia is too slow to learn. Commentary reads, Tyson has been forgotten about. No reporters asking about Tyson. The police is not giving any reports. The Prime Minister is on mute. A NewsSpinner says there are 50 spent shells. That was a hit and overkill. Sad, so very sad. Another commentary reads, not speaking on crime is PJP's deceptive strategy to claim that he does not politicize crime. Commentary reads, it never seems to amaze me that when critical matters affecting St. Lucia and St. Lucians have been discussed, that you have some people who think that it's because you're not in support of their political party or government that these matters are constantly being discussed, and they will come out not to be part of the discussion but to protect their political party if the mood is red or the code is yellow. Someone says if everybody has their right to support and vote whichever party they choose, it's not nice to see so many people on both sides are raising their blood pressure for politics. It was not so before. People respected others. Right now is no longer political parties, it's political gangs, if you ask me. Both UWP supporters and the Labour supporters should respect each other's choices. One party must win, one must lose. Let us live in peace and love despite our political differences. And the commentary via YouTube, it reads, exactly, Rick Wayne. These people just hear belly aching about inconsequential things. Or they pulled down my flag, or a man held me by my forearm. Elementary school complaints. Go out there and campaign. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Somebody says that via WhatsApp, the St. Jude's building is nowhere near ready to function as a hospital. The only departments that are close to operational are the dialysis unit, the physical therapy unit, and the laundry. The rest of the building remains incomplete with major systems still not properly installed. The government is rushing cosmetic work, painting walls, cleaning the surroundings, laying carpet, and touching up interior spaces to create the appearance of readiness rather than actually completing the facility. The electrical system is still unfinished, and the building is currently being powered through solar panels rather than a fully installed and stable electrical supply system. Only the specific units set up by the foreign contractors appear functional, while the rest of the building has not been completed. Workers have been instructed not to film inside, and multiple cameras have been installed to monitor them, preventing the public from seeing the true state of the building. Nurses report that there are no plans in place to move into the building anytime soon. Despite attempts to make the structure look presentable, the St. Jude building is far from being a functional hospital. And let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, we need an explanation, or we the population need an explanation from the Prime Minister, who boasts about his stellar handling of the St. Lucian economy. This government has collected the most tax revenue in the history of St. Lucia. In addition, we have been hearing of US $240 million in CIP revenue. The price of gas is still high and capped to make it worse. The Taiwanese are funding a significant number of projects, including the MSME and youth economy. However, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank statistics for St. Lucia show a huge amount of borrowing was done by this SLP government, even more than during the last administration's tenure. Knowing all of this, the airport is not complete. Not even the simple control tower is complete. The Shock to Gross Delay Highway is not complete. The hospital, although they are having a smartly disguised handing over ceremony, is still not complete. No housing project is complete. So why the hell did they borrow all this money, and what have they done with it? Something is very wrong here. It's just not adding up. We have a call on the landline. Let's go to that call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, King of A.
Hi. Good afternoon, Mrs. Nancy Charles.
How are you?
I'm all right. How about you?
I'm doing well. I have a few things to say, so just bear with me for a few minutes. But I want to start off by saying, the old people have a saying, Zandoli saf tupie boy ikamuti. You know what that means?
Yeah.
And if you don't know, let everybody research it and find out. But I want to say to the St. Lucia Labour Party and the supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party, Zandoli saf tupie boy ikamuti. And that is my message to them. And that's my message to Rick as well, because I understand where Rick is coming from. I want to say to St. Lucians that I agree with you, team. The United Workers' Party does not subscribe to the policy that we want to win at all costs. We don't. We want to win. We want to win fair. We want to win square. We want to win ensuring that the people of St. Lucia understand that they are voting for the United Workers' Party and what they are voting for. We are not a classless party, and we're not a declassé party. So that's why we don't go around pulling down people's posters and flags, etc. Because that flags and posters don't win elections. And they can come down and tear them down, etc. We will complain about it. We will let the population know what extremes that the St. Lucia Labour Party is going to try and win an election. And as you rightly said, Tim, at this point in time in the game, we should have heard from the Prime Minister. Sean Edwards should have gone on the platform and said to his supporters, calm yourselves, and this, that, and the other. But you don't hear that from them. You still hear them lying, and they are the ones, I can say to you, some of them, they are the ones encouraging the supporters with that level of aggressiveness. But I want to say to my good friend Rick Wynn, you see this battle in terms of elections that we are going through in St. Lucia, the United Workers' Party will win the election, but we're not going to win it through the same aggressiveness and the same type of war mentality that the St. Lucia Labour Party has. The people on the ground see through that, team. Do you think that the majority of St. Lucians subscribe to this type of behavior from the St. Lucia Labour Party? They don't. Because when we go on the ground and we go canvassing, you know what people tell us? I want to hear what your policies are. I want to know what you're going to do for us as a country. How you're going to develop this country, how you're going to shape this country. And this is the campaign that the United Workers' Party is running and will continue to run. So I say to our supporters, do not respond in kind. They want to take down Marcella's flags and posters and Kakal's flags and anybody else. Let them take it down. But I want to say to you all, be vigilant and watch them, because this is illegal, Timothy. Are you aware that this is illegal?
Yes, very much so.
So start filming them, my people. Start looking out from them. Put your cameras on and film them, because I can guarantee you, while we will not fight dirty, we will fight lawfully. Depi nou chebe yo ka tiye flag nou an le pose, nou ka fe yo awete yo. It's time that an example is set in this country, that Labour Party understands that the people of St. Lucia, we living in a democratic country, Timothy, and that people ought to make their decision based on substance, not on victimization and trying to get people to create and instill fear in the minds and in the hearts of people. Timothy, people in this country are so, when I go around canvassing, people tell me, Miss Nancy, don't worry, you know, because of my job or because of this person and because of what people will say, you don't see me coming to the rallies and everything, but I voting for y'all, I supporting y'all. And that is the clarion cry across St. Lucia. I want to say to the St. Lucia Labour Party that the majority of the public service is going to vote for Alan Chasney and United Workers' Party. You know why? Because they see the level of victimization and the level of St. Lucia Labour Party supporters who do not even qualify for certain positions, but they are the ones being promoted. They are the ones being sent up high. So Mr. Emran Matthew, for example, tell him I say his day will come, because you would think that Emran is the rep for Denry, you know, team. If you go around Denry North, people would think that Emran, who is the Deputy Accountant General, he's the one who wrote the report for the Town and Village Council, accusing people without substance and without any information, without any proof, accusing members of the United Workers' Party of all kinds of misdeeds in his report. And today, the same allegations that he made, he accused a particular member. He said that this gentleman, it was wrong for him to be the Deputy Accountant General and to be the chairman of the council at the time when he did his report. Are you aware today, Timothy, that Emran Matthew is the Deputy Accountant General and he's the chairman of the Denry North Constituency Council? The same thing he wrote about in a report accusing people of, he's doing. He goes around intimidating people, and you would swear, this man is the Deputy Accountant General of St. Lucia, you know. And this is the behavior of this gentleman. So like I said to them, a few Sundays ago, Timothy, I was going to our public meeting, and Mr. Jobatis had a huge motorcade, traffic jam, etc. My vehicle is very well known. I brought down my windows on my vehicle so everybody would see it's me in my yellow shirt heading to my rally, and to make way for me to pass, I brought it down. And I am saying that, and I will say respectfully, nobody told me anything. Nobody shouted at me. As a matter of fact, they cleared the traffic backlog so that I could drive past and go on my business. And that's why I say Zandoli Saf Kileste Boy Kamuti. So I want to say to Rick, we are not wimps, as you may think. We are going to win this election the right way. We are going to win this election with facts, with substance, by telling the people of St. Lucia what we will do for this country, how we will develop this country, and we will not continue to perpetuate this hatred and this thing. When you see a Labour Party team, this morning, you know what one of my sons said to me? He said to me, Mommy, and that's one of those who don't evolve in the politics at all. He said to me, Mommy, I think you should put yellow things on all your vehicles. So I look at him, I say, where is that coming from? He said to me, because when Labour Party people see you, they feel it is okay for them to put stars on their van, flags on their van, flags on their house, everything. But once they see you in something yellow, they have something to say to you, as if you're not supposed to have yellow and they can have red. And this is a shame in this country. Why is it okay for Labour Party supporters to walk all over the place wearing red? They have flags on their vehicle, everything. And once you put a little piece of yellow on your car, or you have a yellow shirt or whatever, people feel they can come up to you and tell you nonsense. Ridiculous! That must stop in this country. I am saying to Bradley's wife, Mrs. Marcel Fulgence, you are doing the right thing. It's okay. Let them go ahead. Tell Emron Matthew, go ahead. You need to go to the full extent of the law to make an example of them, because you are right. Nobody has authority to stop and jump traffic right in the road to prevent you from passing except for the police. And Emron has no right to want to stop you and say, take your phone from you because you cannot record, especially when he knows he's doing something wrong. So I want to say to St. Lucia, we will not match them, but tell them they better know who they are attacking. Thank you very much, Dave.
Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Let's see if we can go through some of your WhatsApp messages. And Amanda is standing by to provide us with yet another update, and that is just around the corner. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, good day, Tim. I'm so tired of hearing criticisms about the hospital not being quite ready. The need for St. Jude's has been an emergency for over a decade. Nonetheless, it is commendable that the hospital is finally available, whether it is 95 or 100% complete, because it is better than remaining in a dilapidating stadium as a makeshift hospital. Don't you agree? Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. Somebody says there, Tim, it seems like only when the SLP is in office, the UWPs know the meaning of victimization. Shaking my head. And another WhatsApp message to go through. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, just bear with me, trying to go through as many of them as possible. Okay, let's see there. Please bear with me. We're trying to see if we can go through as many of your messages as possible. Somebody says via WhatsApp, so my uncle told me tonight that the hospital is nowhere near ready. The only department that's ready is the dialysis and physical therapy unit. All the government is going to make it look ready is to paint the hospital, clean around the building, placing carpet on the floors and painting some interior walls. Let's see there if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, please stand by. Okay, WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, the guys actively removing the posters. Someone showed me a recording of a group of 5 guys placing PJP posters either directly over Chico posters and in some cases deliberately destroying them. Most of the signs have been removed in Rockhall Pave and Maynard Hill. And let's see some more of your messages. We're trying to go through as many of them as possible, so please bear with me. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, good day, Tim. I think Rick is losing it. We UWP will not stoop to the level of SLP because we are of higher standards. In reality, everyone holds UWP in high regard and respect, so we will not lower our standards. If we lose, we lose, but we will not break the rules just to win. We have a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello?
Hey, Tim and Amanda, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. Tim, I want St. Lucians to look at the government and figure if we were running a business and we have the CEO and we have the various VPs. Just imagine Castries East, Castries North, Vifort South. You pay these people over the course of 20, 25, 28 years to run your business. You pay them millions of dollars, millions they've made running these places. They spent billions of dollars in the budgets, and these places have gotten worse instead of better. Any board of directors, any management would fire them. Sorry, we, St. Lucians, are the board of directors. We are the management. If we really want what's better for our country, we need to fire these people. Some of them boast, I've been elected 5 times, I've been elected 6 times. Show us a signature achievement. Show us what you've done for the country. Instead, what they do is they malign other people who have ideas and stuff like that, all personal attacks, because they have no record to stand on. When any politician who comes to you and asks you to elect them and they're basing somebody else, yes, you can find things wrong with somebody or some on the side, But before you do that, let me know what you give in, what plans you have to move the country forward, especially at a time when the world is on a cusp of fundamental changes. A lot of jobs will disappear. A lot of new jobs are coming on stream. I don't hear anybody telling us how they're preparing the country for AI. Not even the Minister of Education comes and says, here's the curriculum change, here's what we're doing. And countries are talking about by 2030, by 2035, this will disappear, that will disappear, hardships will come on, these jobs will no longer be available. That is around the corner. We don't have those plans. I haven't heard them. And these are the things the young people and the people of St. Lucia want to hear. Instead, we have these people standing, bashing people on their race and their color and stuff like that. Here's the problem with the race issue in St. Lucia. If they were genuinely about race, if you look at Alan Chasney, his father is black, he's St. Lucian, his mother was white from Ireland. Kenny Anthony's father was white, his mother is black. Alan Chasney's father, as far as I know, wasn't in charge of any estates or being a master and stuff like that. Even earlier this week, Tuesday, I spoke with somebody, an elderly lady I know from the Rosa area, detailing how she alleges that the Bernard family, when Kenny Anthony's father came down, and they're the ones who, punished people for things, exploited them. And she gave me a whole list of things which I won't go into right now in the interest of time. But if you're really about race and about massa and stuff like that, there's a deeper connection on the SLP side. That means they didn't. If they're doing that right now, that means they were being hypocritical. They don't like Kenny Anthony because he's made of the same makeup as Chasney. And Chasney's side of the family, Chasney's father, what he did was, at one time, he was the biggest employer of people in St. Lucia. A lot of these same people hating Chasney now, their parents, their family, their relatives worked for Chasney. Chasney was the biggest employer in the country at one time, providing jobs which provided housing, food, shelter, clothing, their schooling and everything else for them. So the man contributed to the country. His mother is from Ireland. They should look up the history of Ireland versus the history of England and France. Some of us are descendants of people from England and France. We are closer to slavery and massa than Chasney is, if you have to look at it in real terms of our lineage in St. Lucia. St. Lucians have different lineage. You have the Caribs, we have the white people, we have the blacks came after the third, they were the third group in the country, then the indentured Indians and stuff like that. We don't know that kind of stuff. We shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. And if they're really about racism and slavery and massa, then let's look at the history of slavery. Up to today, as we speak right now, the 13th of November 2025, in Nigeria, there are 1.6 million slaves. That's the entire population of Trinidad. Okay? Tinubu came here. Did they talk to him about slavery? This is black people enslaving black people. In Nigeria, 1.6 million. You can grab your phone right now and Google it. It's right there. If you look at, there are 54 countries in Africa. 50 of them, today, 50 of them, the UN report, have slavery. Slavery exists in 50 of the 54 countries in Africa. Okay? If you look at the DRC in Congo, Ethiopia 730,000, Egypt 440,000, DRC 407,000, 7.2 million slaves in Africa, black people and Arabs enslaving black people. For over almost 2,000 years, there've been slavery in Africa and it hasn't stopped. So when you want to do this massa thing and come and say, there's no reason to justify slavery, no matter if it's white, black, whoever did it. But if you're going to be condemning people and calling them master and calling them slave masters and you're weeping and all kinds of stuff, you have to give the whole history. It was black people who caught, and they hate when you say that, it was black tribes that caught other people and sold them. Our people was sold into slavery by our own people. If you look at the history of slavery, almost 2,000 years of history of slavery in Africa, 200 and something years in St. Lucia. One is not better than the other one, but ours was shorter. If you really are genuine about it, you're going to be honest about it and tell your people. You had Tinubu come there and celebrate him and everything. Ask him why there are 1.6 million slaves in Africa. Look at the young girls. We all remember that, who were kidnapped from the school. Imagine people from Denry, I shouldn't say that because Denry will come after me and say I'm maligning them. But anywhere in St. Lucia, Babonneau, Rosalie, Soufrière, wherever comes, and they come to convent and take a bunch of girls, take them up in the bush, rape them, impregnate them, pass them around, toss them around. I mean, imagine that trauma. That happened in Nigeria. It's still happening in Nigeria. A black country, black people doing that to others. So let's not glorify one and punish the other one and stuff like that. Let's be real about this. Let's talk about the CIP money. If we had it, what you could have done for St. Lucia. Okay, we could have had the hospital could be finished had they gone ahead with the proper hospital, which is what the rest of the world is building. We could have had a state-of-the-art airport. Everybody could have had insurance, about 4 years insurance for everybody. We could have had better employment. We could have had scanners at the port, K9 units for that kind of money. And this government has borrowed more money than any other government in the history of St. Lucia. If you look at what we've heard about the CIP money, 1 billion US, almost 3 billion EC dollars. You look at the 4 budgets they've had of 1 billion each. We're looking at almost the amount of money they borrowed. This government in its tenure have had about at least $8 billion you could have access to. Do we see $8 billion of growth in the country? Do we even see $5 billion worth of growth and investment in the country? These are the sort of things we need to ask about. These are the sort of things we need to concern ourselves about, not bashing people. Look at the SLP, these people going into the SLP. Andy Daniel, the whole bunch of them. I was waiting. Andy Daniel is somebody I spoke with. I don't know we are friends, but we're cordial. We talk to each other. We have a good relationship. I listened to him. The only one I listened to was him because knowing the man I used to talk to, I was expecting something of substance coming from him. He just stood up and bashed Alan Chasney. And I'm asking myself, how does that translate to policy? How does that help St. Lucia? What are you going to do to create employment? My analysis of these people is, you have all these people who cannot get a decent job elsewhere or do not have the power or making enough money. They want to come in and fleece St. Lucia, fleece the public purse, and this bunch of elderly or older men, or even my age as well, they are there coming to just get in and feed at the trough. If you look at what's been proposed by the UWP, and like Philip J. Pierre himself said, UWP is the party of plans. History has shown that. Just imagine John Compton and Alan Chasney having $5 to $8 billion. Could you imagine John Compton with $8 billion over 4 years or $5 billion over 4 years? St. Lucia would have been transformed beyond belief. That's the kind of money we have floating around. Look at $10 million given to the housing minister. Do we see $10 million worth of housing? We see he's putting up housing and stuff like that. I heard $80 million for the Minister of Sports or whatever, the rep for Grosely. Do we see $80 million worth of projects in his community or growth or whatever he was given for? But yet, he apparently has new structures going up. These are the things we need to be concerning ourselves about. Where did the money go? Where is the $10 million worth of housing? Where is the $80 million worth of whatever they get it into him for? Where is the $5 billion worth of infrastructure in the country? Look at the hospital. I heard the report. I read part of the report which the UWP left for them when they left office. One of the things which was glaring in the report, which Mr. Pierre said he didn't look at or whatever, or he dismissed, not even the plumbing. The reason why that hospital, that building cannot be commissioned in its own state. They can plaster it, paint it. You can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. They can do whatever they want with it. It is not conducive to modern equipment. You cannot run oxygen lines around the concrete because the temperature varies too much. You cannot put the modern equipment in that hospital because there's not enough insulation in the walls to prevent them from being damaged and stuff like that, if there's space for them. But one of the fundamental things they did not take into consideration was the plumbing. The report says they do not know where the toilets go. Where does the toilet waste go? Nobody knows where that plumbing ends up. What if you build a hospital, put people in there, after they flush 6 or 7 toilets over how many days, and it comes up and backs up and the entire floor has the waste products of the toilet. This is something the floor should have been busted and the whole thing rerouted. Something, a simple engineering fix as finding out where your plumbing is going, that they don't know. So the building now they call it a hospital, but Pierre said he delivered in a building, not a hospital. I said they're saying they're going to deliver a hospital, but they can't deliver a hospital because the hospital, if they deliver the hospital on the 16th or 17th, the following day, you should be able to go in there and get treatment. You should be able to go to the hospital emergency and get treatment or walk in the ward and stuff like that. Will we have a functioning hospital the day after they say they deliver in the building? No, we don't.
Okay, caller.
And these are the issues.
We have to wind down.
Thank you, Tim.
Okay, thank you so much. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still, it comes to more of your calls, your WhatsApp messages, and somebody says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
Ho, ho, ho. I had a dream that I, Santa, will be giving away amazing gifts this Christmas at Europa Hardware in Massad Grozile. I saw a Kasha pressure washer, a vacuum cleaner, steel brush cutters, Metabo power tools, even a welding machine, tile cutter, and Leo water pump. Just spend $500 or more between now and December 19, 2025. And your name and number goes into the box to be drawn. Christmas couldn't be better. Only Europa is making things so merry. Ho, ho, ho. It's not a dream, it's a fact. Shop at Europa Hardware. Call us at 452-0763. Europa, we service what we sell.
If you're working for a while, come by Cots, I'll make you smile. Cots Black Friday come around. We are the best prices in town. Black Friday starts now at Cots. Yeah, it's back. Cots Black Friday. I tell you, hurry fast. Traffic on the highway. You know we got unbeatable prices. And furniture, electronics, and appliances. Are you coming? Say yeah. Weekly prices. Biggest and best deals of this season. Shop and credit to it big. And pay nothing until next year, January. Rock out and come down to Coats. Cots already load. Cots already load. Black Friday start. Cots already load. And go when Black Friday come out.
Lucilec averti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone ça là. Mi un petit commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Priez Lucilec avant ou trim et ben couper pied bois qui pouet ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outils ou ka servi pas vini moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
The following is a paid political advertisement.
I am Ernest Hilaire, Minister for Tourism, Investment, Culture, Creative Industries, and Information. St. Lucia has entered a new chapter, one of record-breaking growth, community empowerment, and sustainable tourism. Just a few years ago, our tourism sector was facing unprecedented challenges, but we saw an opportunity and we took it. Today, we are proud of what we've achieved. We are breaking records. Over 450,000 stay-over arrivals, over 829 cruise passenger arrivals, thousands of hotel rooms being constructed, over 25 community projects launched across St. Lucia. We are making progress. We are transforming the tourism industry. We are putting St. Lucia's first. And for us, it is important that our people participate more in the tourism industry. It's important that our people start owning the tourism industry. We are delivering as we promise. From vibrant carnival expressions to authentic community experiences, we are not just growing, we are growing together.
This was a paid political advertisement.
Tired of sky-high bills and a planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Your future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 455-7000 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
KFC, yo, we back with the vibe. Strips and dip combo, flavor that rise. Free crispy strips, fries on the side. 16-ounce drink, sauce for the ride. Order for 25, deal so nice. Good and crunchy, can't think twice. Barbecue, honey, mustard ranch if you wish. Dip it, dunk it, finger licking bliss. KFC, brandy flavor. Set the mood, strips and dip is back. Finger licking good.
Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE-certified MRI technology and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique du Corps, because time is vital in health.
Are you building, renovating, or just looking to add something to your property? Then look no further. The Block Factory has all your concrete product needs in stock. From 4-inch to 12-inch concrete blocks to high-quality concrete pavers at an affordable price. Whether your project is big or small, we're ready to serve you. Visit us today on the Cul-de-Sac Bextor Highway, right at the entrance of Ferron, next to the Stone Surgeon. Top quality blocks await you. Call us at 720-6752. The Block Factory, building your future one block at a time.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
The following is a paid political advertisement.
Every trip to the gas station has become a burden. For 4 long years, Solutions have paid more than they should, draining pockets, raising prices on everything from groceries to bus fares. The United West Party says enough is enough. Within the first 30 days, we'll reduce fuel prices, bringing real relief to families, drivers, and businesses. Because a break at the pump is a break for every solution. Save our solution. Together, we will right the wrong.
This was a paid political advertisement.
Broward, located on High Street in Castries, next to the courthouse and electoral office, and opposite the Castries Comprehensive School, is having a massive clearance sale. Prices have been slashed by so much, it's ridiculous.
We're talking 30 to 60% off electrical and plumbing items until stocks last. Whether it's a do-it-yourself fixer-upper or a full household project, come in and save big with Bravo. There's never been a better time to come down to Bravo for savings on electrical, plumbing, and other hardware items. See you there. Bravo, located on High Street, Castries, next to the courthouse and electoral office, and opposite the Castries Comprehensive Secondary School. Sale on until stocks last. Sale starts Tuesday, November 25th.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Shop directly from the U.S. with Smack Freight International. Vehicles, heavy equipment, tools, parts, building materials, commercial equipment, office equipment, furniture, personal goods, home goods, shoes, clothing, restaurant equipment and supplies, uniforms, and so much more. Smack Freight International also offers a broad selection of top quality products with real-time availability and fast delivery. It is simple. Whatever you buy, buy it for less at Smack Freight. Smack Freight is now serving the Caribbean. WhatsApp them today at 1737-409-4048. Again, the WhatsApp number is 1737-409-4048, or visit their website at smackfreight.com. All right, I think we will take a final call on the broadcast right now as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello?
Mr. Tim.
Yes, good afternoon, Rick.
So, my fellow soldier on the journalistic front does not subscribe to the idea of winning at all cost.
Yes.
Right. What does that, how do you interpret winning at all cost?
It means I will do anything at all. Underhand things, illegal, things that are unethical. Because I'll tell you what, as a journalist, as a talk show host, I'm a fighter. It is all about winning. It is all about having the number one talk show, the most monitored talk show in the world. But I do not believe that there's some unscrupulous things I could do to remain at the top that I will not do. Such as, go behind the back of a talk show host and say, this is the worst talk show host in the world, and why are you listening to this talk show host? That's not my business. I am focusing exclusively on my product. And as a result, I believe I could have the best.
Good. Do you think there is such a thing as a winner's mindset and a loser's mindset?
Yes, there is. Because the loser will tell you.
No, you know what it is.
Maybe I'll do this.
I know.
All right.
You'll cut my time.
Mm.
So
go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
Good. So we understand that. Nancy gave you a speech there a while ago, and I'm sure a lot of people, I hope, were uplifted by it. But Nancy ended her speech talking about her son.
Yes.
And the way she described her son is exactly what I am talking about. Nancy's son said, since they're pulling the things down and setting, Mommy, put your things all over your car and drive around.
Mm-hmm.
See what she did? She didn't say, Mommy, get a gun and go and shoot somebody. My mindset, Tim, at 100 years old, I have never even slapped a woman when it was fashionable to slap women. I do not believe in violence. There is no violence in my whole 100 years of life. I don't think violence. And it is very interesting, and that's why I opened up with you, that your interpretation of my doing whatever it takes to win would go to all those negative things as opposed to all the positive things I'm going to tell you now. My whole life has been a life of competition, whether for bodybuilding at a time when no black guy could win, whether it was at a time when no black guy could get a certain kind of work. I manage all of that. I know what it takes to win. And what it takes to win is not pulling a gun. It's not pulling a hammer. It is working your ass off more than your competition. self-sacrifice, doing what the word sacrifice does not have any place in my vocabulary. I do what is necessary, including not sleeping 8 hours, like I told you yesterday. So all those positives, all the things I'm thinking about doing, winning at all costs, are all positives. And Nancy made the point with her son. Now, I want to go back to those.
She also made the point with herself when she said, Zandoli sav kipi boy kamute.
Well, of course, you didn't have the courtesy for those of us who don't speak Creole to explain that, So I'm sure Dominic didn't understand it. I'm sure Alan didn't understand
you
it.
understood.
But I sure as hell didn't understand it. I don't understand Creole.
Okay.
What she means to my friends overseas is the lizard knows what trees to avoid.
Yeah.
Because if the lizard knows there are hawks waiting up there to eat it up, the lizard will not climb that tree.
Avoid it.
So I'm assuming that Nancy put herself in the position of the hawk, not the lizard. And the hawk is the symbol of war versus dove. So even inadvertently, Nancy gave you a kind of analogy there that places her in the position of hawk. I am hawk, okay? But my hawkness does not... Tim, I've never been charged with any kind of crime or suspicion of any kind of crime, I am very obedient to the law unless I want to break it to make a point, okay? Like when I got into that whole thing with Philip C. and so on and so on. I don't want to go into that, waste my time. But you see, I would never think the way to retaliate to the Labour Party's aggressiveness and everything else would be to shoot them. I want to be more aggressive with better speeches of greater content than they have. I want to confront them with their whatever embarrassing history they may have. I want to be able to spell out to my listeners in clear terms what I want them to hear. I'm not going to talk to them in any kind of highfalutin jargon about economics and that I know 99% of the solution doesn't understand. The economics that the solution understands is when she gets up, the mother gets up in the morning and cannot figure out how she is going to feed her children unless she goes to some guy and sells her dignity to him. That I know about.
It's the same way, Rick, the late Jeff Stewart would have explained the budget.
Exactly.
Layman terms.
And speaking of the budget, last night you played a couple of clips there, and I had hoped to get on your show. I couldn't get it. And I wonder why those speeches that are made in Parliament regarding our economic situation, with the growth, are in such language that even Tommy seemed to have some difficulty explaining it to you. Am I right?
Yes. Because
yes, even he.
No, but because he had some issues with the figures. Not that he don't understand the language, but the figures.
Well, he said he couldn't understand how billions are this and that. He couldn't understand. So what I'm saying to you is, if he has problems understanding or getting the message, it suggests two things. Either the message is being deliberately delivered in a discombobulating way that the average bear can understand it, or I don't know what else. But you can say anything. There's nothing you can say in science, in anything, that cannot be said in simple English.
Agreed.
And when they're busy talking the Creole, Alan can't talk Creole, you never see them talking about the economy and so on in Creole. The economy matters to the average person only in terms, like all this growth. I've been writing about this for years. Growth of 4.5%. This is all bullshit, Tim.
It's nonsense.
They're always talking about GDP, which is not the same as Human Development Index.
Yeah.
Human Development Index tells you how people eat, how often they eat. Can they afford medicine?
Because your Dominica, your St. Kitts, your Grenada, they are doing a lot better than us when it comes to HDI, Human Development Index.
So even in the details of how you live and the economy are in the ADI, the HDI.
Yeah.
But they're bullshit people who like to hear it. Even their supporters don't understand it. Okay? But they've been doing it over and over. And I thought last night that somebody might have broken it down. So All that's going on here is planned, calculated to keep people happy but stupid. Like you give them liquor, so they quote whatever government they support. Well, the economy grew by 5.6%. So what are you talking about? I'm not. This has always horrified me, Tim. Horrified me. An economy is doing well if people can see people in jobs, and I'm not talking about piss-ass jobs that you can't pay your rent with it. Reasonable jobs for people who have the talent, the education, etc. That is when your economy is good. When you can go to the hospital without a problem, that your hospital is not going to be without medicine. When you can pay your rent, you don't have to be rich, but the economy, that's what that is when the economy growing has any meaning to the average person. When you talk about economic, we experience so much growth, GDP. That means absolutely nothing to anybody, Tim, because it's not meant for them. It's not meant for them. It's the so-called economists playing bullshit games with minds that they know cannot deal with it. And to me, that is almost slavery. It's almost slavery. So I want to go back again to winning at all costs. Winning at all costs means working harder than your competitor. Don't be complaining about flags. Find other ways. Put your flags on your car. You know flags don't win this and that. You know crowds don't win. So why? I mean, yesterday I could not believe that this guy called with good intentions and spent 3/4 of his time telling you about the very person he doesn't want to. He obviously does not want to win because he was talking about Miku South, right?
Yes.
And he obviously is a supporter of Alan Shasney. But he spent his time telling you all these wonderful things. Well, not wonderful things, but talking about Shanda. This is what we don't think about, Tim. Our thinking has to change in this country. There's church morality. There's winners' morality, soldiers' morality. You think when a general orders 1,000 people, 1,000 human beings, men, to go down in this valley, he doesn't know how many people will be killed in the attempt to take that valley? But they signed on for that. They want that thing at all costs. The people volunteered to be soldiers, and they are ready to die for their cause. It doesn't mean winning at all costs, that you must pick up a gun or a cutlass or whatever. It means outworking your opponent. It means being better. It means starting your campaign before him. It means good thinking. You know, after the election, whatever the result, I will have a lot of analysis to come up with, you know. But I don't want to do it now because I will be accused and I will not be able to defend myself, and I'm helping one side against the other, and I am not. The things I talk about have general impact. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. We conclude the broadcast now with the NewsSpin News of the Day. The NewsSpin News of the Day reads, a new directive from the Trump administration instructs U.S. visa officers to consider obesity and other chronic health conditions as grounds to deny foreigners entry to the country. A new directive from the Trump administration instructs U.S. visa officers to consider obesity and other chronic health conditions as grounds to deny foreigners entry to the country. Our NewsSpin News of the Day bringing to a conclusion today's edition of the most monitored talk show in the world. As always, this request, don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the YouTube channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.